Yeah, so Rode's making some really cool podcasting microphones that are pretty cheap. So these are only $100. The stuff we were talking into was over $100. Actually, the one you were using that still sounds pretty good, that was $100. The one that Derek suggested to us was like $150. But the guy at Guitar Center said that one would sound good, and you do sound good on it, right? Yeah, this one over here is the MXL 67. That was like $129. It was on sale. They usually comes in like green. So yeah, welcome to the Transmit Podcast. We're doing some shop talk here. I'm your host, Spike.
I'm Victor.
And today we're going to talk about the movie we just saw. And what would you say? Is this like the, as far as video game movies you've seen, where would you rank this?
Well, I like Sonic. I've
Yeah.
always been like a Sonic fan. There's enough references in there, both to the internet Sonic, personality that we've come to develop over time. And enough references to the game to where I felt satisfied with how much they were putting into it. They created some new lore, like a Long Claw character.
Yeah,
maybe that was from the comics or something.
That's not.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe it was completely made up, all right. But
Yes.
I thought it was good. I don't know. I'm being really nice. I think maybe if I wanted to be like really cruel, I would say it sucked.
No, I don't think it listen, as far as like video
But
game,
being nice, I think it's not right.
You got to put it in the movie or the video game movie category, which is not the same as any other movie category. So I'd say it was actually just a good movie. It wasn't like great, but it wasn't offensive. This is going to be some kids like Goonies, like in the future.
Definitely a kid's film. If I was a kid, I'd watch it like several times.
Yeah.
It looks like something that could just be on,
Yes, and especially
distract like not like the little kids, but slightly older kids,
Yeah. So here, let's take a look at that trailer. Oh no! I know. God, I'm not a professional.
A little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package.
And we're
On
seeing
my
him. He's
planet, people
they made
were
him the
always after
non-hideous
my
version.
powers. So I came to yours. It gets a little lonely, but that's okay.
He's reading a shitload of comic books.
I am living my best life on Earth. Ow!
And this is like, oh yeah, let's cancel that. So basically, that ends with him at the baseball field, which is kind of like the catalyst for that was like the end of the first act right there. So basically, under my notes here, I have Sonic is a creepy stalker. Is the very first thing.
Did you see the pitch meeting?
Yes, I did. That was great.
About it?
but that's the note I wrote in the theater. I was sitting there like, God, would be like, you are one music sting away from this being technically a horror movie. Because he's sitting there like looking in people's windows and stuff, and like they don't know he's there.
I know. Imagine if they had kept the old design.
Oh
and
God,
he was like stalking everyone with his like teeth and everything.
Oh God, that'd be hideous.
It'd be kind of scary. And maybe they wrote that in. Maybe they did the design first, and then they wrote, "Oh, he's a stalker." It might be kind of fun to kind of play off of his weird look.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't think they were aware of how creepy he looked.
Oh yeah, I don't know how that got through so many. that went through so many like approvals. They said no, this is the one. Or one guy at the top was like, no, what the hell is this? He what's with the noodle legs and arms? Come on, he has to have legs and calf muscles, and he has to look kind of hideous.
Yeah, you can't have a cartoon in the real world.
No, that's insane. And now it actually did pretty well. I hear it did pretty well at the box office, so I'm glad about that, honestly.
Oh, did it?
Let me see here. See.
Because that would be kind of disappointing if it didn't do well.
Sonic movie at the...
After all the work the internet put into changing the minds of a large production studio about their design.
Right. And then it flops even harder. Oh, so opening weekend, let's see, the Sonic the Hedgehog breaks video game movie curse with a record 57 million opening weekend.
Oh.
So that's not so bad.
Okay.
Obviously it's not a huge budget movie, so it's not like Avatar or anything.
Yeah. So I would put it in the category. You said you're grading it as a comic book.
Well, no,
movie?
as a video game movie.
Video game movie. I put it in the same category as 90s movies such as Kazam
Oh yeah.
starring Shaquille O'Neal,
Oh
right?
god, that was so bad.
Steel, also starring Shaquille O'Neal.
Right? That was one of the earliest comic book movies I can remember, honestly, and that's
Steel.
sad.
Steel. What other movies would I relate it to? Problem Child.
Problem
I
Child.
kind of get the Problem Child feel from it.
I mean, he is technically a child and a problem.
What other 90s movies? What was Small Soldiers?
Oh, I remember. Oh god,
Remember
Small Soldiers. Yeah, that movie had like a fake ending where they all go off into the ditch, and you're like, oh okay, I guess that's the. Oh no, there's a lot more. Whoa.
But I'd put it in that. And then there was that maybe Mac and Me.
Mac and Me. Okay, a little bit of that, yeah.
And then what was the other one where there's that kid who he finds an alien robot body?
Yes, I remember that one. It like grinds up that that Happy Meal and feeds to him a little ball
And like, you know, all the kids are bullying him, but then he like comes to school with this like robot.
with a warrior battle armor.
It's kind of like the 90s kid version of like Guyver. Remember Guyver?
Yes, that was great.
So it's kind of like the guy,
It's kind of like
the 90s kid version of Guyver.
I
think it might be in that category of film.
right.
And there was like a lot of nostalgia in it too. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure
like
if
that
they
had
meant.
they had like a piano version of the Sonic song.
Yeah, and even like kids playing baseball and stuff. I haven't seen like Little League
Yeah.
Little League baseball in a movie in years.
Ever. Like seriously, well, they're going to that old school Americana thing.
Yeah.
They call it the Green Hills, which I loved.
Yeah,
That was another like callback, and that was one of my notes. Is why the hell they leave a full bag of baseball equipment just out? I know you live out in a like idyllic mountain town, but that's a whole bag of equipment you just
I was
left.
watching it with Samantha, and she brought that up as well. Like, of course, someone leaves all of their gear, like hats, helmets,
So the movie can happen.
yeah, baseball.
Seriously,
Because Sonic would never steal that.
no, he steals pretty much everything else.
Off screen, he stole all those like Flash comics. I'm sure he didn't pay for them.
No, he couldn't have. He doesn't know about money. He comes from another planet.
And if he did like leave a little bit of change, you know, on the comic book counter, and he went in there real quick, bought him before anyone could see him, even then, like, where'd he get that money from?
Yeah, seriously.
Did Longclaw say like, "Hey, you're gonna go to Earth. You're gonna need some of the Earth currency"?
It's like, yeah, here's a bag of teleportation rings because that's what those are now, and here's some Earth money. It's like, oh, well, how'd you get that? Don't ask.
So we're thinking he stole everything. Basically.
Yeah, he stole fucking everything. But apparently, yeah, that bag of baseball gear, like, they don't, like, not every kid plays every position. So that bag had, like, the pitchers, a baseball helmet, several bats, a full, like, catcher's get up.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. And gum. I don't know where he got the gum. So
Maybe he kept it in his, like, you know, hedgehog pocket. I don't know.
It's an entire, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an anachronism bag. But yeah, basically what you see is at the beginning, you know, he's on his planet. I think if you look at the old like Sonic cartoon, the cool one, he was on Eos or something. Mobius.
Yeah.
That's the one. And that's what I choose to believe that planet's called now. And
Eos?
or Mobius.
Mobius. I think the planet is called Mobius.
Well, that's what I'm choosing to call it. So I'm glad you agree with my assessment of this planet.
Well, that's what it's. All right, fine.
They never. When do they call it that? When do they call it that?
Mobius. They call it in. I think they call it out in the comics and the cartoons.
Yeah, but this is the movie, so you don't know what they call that. It could be like New Detroit, you don't know.
Yeah, I guess they can call it Emerald Hill.
I mean,
Planet.
they made up like a full like character.
Yeah.
Longclaw is like just some owl that I really wish I got to know a little better.
I know.
But
I was like, I saw a Longclaw character. I was like, oh, maybe they're like making a reference to some of the comic book characters that we're creating.
And realistically, like baby like Sonic looks like he could probably have taken all those tribalistic little animals trying to steal his power.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they could have, but they just kind of panicked and threw him into another planet so the movie could happen.
Mm-hmm. And then Longclaw's like, so my only solution to your problem is that you're gonna have to jump from planet to planet for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Living in
Absolute fear and paranoia.
On the run. And always getting out of Dodge.
Never. Yeah, it's like, what about family and friends? Yep, sorry, buddy. You're shit out of luck. So yeah, he's and you see this and he's like he has this like pseudo imaginary relationship with all the people of the town, and he's got like names for like the sheriff guy is Donut Lord and Pretzel Lady, his wife, and it's really kind of cute, but then it gets really kind of sad as he starts to realize, oh, I'm all alone.
Yeah, and then that really happens. That comes to fruition right now.
Comes to a head.
Comes to a head in the baseball scene.
Yeah.
where he starts crying and gets all emotional and starts running really, really fast.
Yeah, because no one there to high five him for hitting a home run.
Yeah.
So he makes a blue EMP,
Yeah.
and that draws the attention of the government, which isn't evil in this one. I'm really glad it's not evil.
It's not an evil government, yeah.
It's just, they have to know what's going on. So the evil person is Jim Carrey's Robotnik.
What I don't like, the whole government thing is a cliche, though.
It is very, very
It's a
cliche.
throwback, fine. But why does it always got to be the government that gets
Well,
involved?
who else is going to show up and be like, oh, what's going on? What's with all these reports of, like, a huge power outage?
But does it have to be like a power outage? Can't there be like a villain from his world coming into that world, trying to chase after him? Something that's like a little bit more
Well, I mean,
original than...
Dr. Robotnik is his most iconic villain, and realistically, who else are you fighting in most of those games? And it needs to be a dude.
Yeah, there could have been humans from his planet, too. Like, maybe it was a planet where, like, there was humans and there was
That's true.
talking...
So you would have liked it better.
animals.
You would have liked it better if it had more talking animals.
Well, I don't know. If they could have thought of something a little bit more clever than the government.
I get you. It is a little cliche. But let's talk a little bit
Maybe
about...
it was the mob. And
Or the mob.
it's a throwback to The Mask, where in The Mask, his main villain was the mob, right?
Yeah.
The Italian mafia or whatever.
And none of the authority figures believed Jim Carrey about that mask. You're right. Let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Sonic has glowing dander. You notice that?
Yeah, that was an interesting scene.
His powers and his quills, I guess?
Yeah, he breaks into their house, right?
Yeah,
And he leaves one of his quills behind.
Yeah.
And he picks it up, and it's like glowing, like neon style, like
Right.
in the kitchen.
And that's like that's like pretty much the main MacGuffin for the movie, like how everything can happen. Jim Carrey or Robotnik knows that Sonic has been there because of that. He knows that it's full of power because he licks it, and it powers his robot or his big robot pod thingy.
Jumping forward a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious as how that one little quill from Sonic's body, which I'm sure he's got thousands of,
Yeah, that's why he wants more of them,
that like powered like all of Robotnik's machines.
right?
But don't you think if the person that's attached to it with thousands of them would be like thousands of times more powerful than Dr. Robotnik?
Well, you're noticing that he didn't like get his full power until the very end.
So yeah, like I think the idea there is that Sonic didn't know how to really tap into
Right.
the blue power.
Until the very end when he goes Super Saiyan. Spoiler alert. Where he goes blue Super Saiyan.
Sonic actually does have Super Saiyan.
He does have that
version.
mode,
He does-
when he
he
gets all
does
the
Sonic
Chaos
Sonic,
Emeralds. Yeah,
and it turns yellow.
that's what I want. I want to see that where we have Chaos Emeralds. Either he has to go back to the green or his Mobius, or there's Chaos Emeralds here for some reason. That's what I want to see.
Mhm.
And then Shadow has to show up because he's edgy. What was it? So yeah, what's this? So yeah, like Jim Carrey's introduction is pretty good because he shows up at that army encampment.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
that was
dresses down that major.
that was actually a good scene. If it hadn't like half of that scene hadn't been spoiled for us,
That
like,
would've been
in the
great.
trailer.
Yeah.
See, the jokes from the trailer I did not laugh at because I saw them a bunch of times.
Right.
But some of the other stuff was actually pretty funny in that scene.
Yes, it was. It's just-
It's actually a pretty good scene.
I do like, and the major's sitting there like if you see subtly, he puts his hand on his gun before he even talks to him. He's ready to shoot Dr. Robotnik like right then and there. Like he shows up in this like smart semi truck with his government lackeys, and Jim Carrey does play a nice abusive asshole. Right,
He
right?
does. Yeah, he's a good character. And that's another nostalgia point right there is it's 90s Jim Carrey.
Right.
He's bringing back that whole feel of being like everything that like, you know, everything post Truman Show and all his growth after that
No, it went
is gone. This
Yeah.
is Jim Carrey if none of that happened.
full Ace Ventura mode.
And he just kept going with Ace Ventura stuff.
or stuff
and the
from In
Mask.
Living Color. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool to see that Jim Carrey again, actually.
Oh yeah. Let's see. There's an Olive Garden. There's like 2 Olive Garden plugs in this. At like the beginning, it's like, hey, let's go to Olive Garden to celebrate some shit.
I thought it would have been cool if they had either promoted. I mean, Olive Garden's kind of like a cool place,
Yeah.
and they did the when you're there, your family kind of joke.
Yeah, they did. So weird. At the end, they have they give him a gift card.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny scene. The timing was a little off because none of them were really that funny, but it was well written.
Yeah,
where it was
they're-
like, why don't you look inside the envelope?
Yeah.
And he's like, He opens it.
It's a
and it's
$50 gift card to Olive.
like the way he said, "Why don't you look inside the envelope?" made me think it was going to be something bigger.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, so good. That was actually really good. I was sitting there like, there were a couple of very obvious commercials, and that was one of them. Like, come to Olive Garden, and the other one was like, oh, we're gonna move to San Francisco now because you're becoming a San Francisco cop because you don't want to live in Green Hills the rest of your life. And it's like, I've been looking up apartments on Zillow.com because it has this whole glory shot where they pan or the camera zooms in on like the computer and Zillow is prominently there. It's like a nice clean look at their webpage.
Yeah. No other ads or pop-ups on the side or anything like that.
Oh yeah, super clean. And I'm sitting there like, this is almost as bad as the advertisements from Six Underground where they have the Captain Morgan in a nice like sunset shot next to pizza.
Yeah,
So-
that makes you thirsty for Captain Morgan and pizza.
I really would like some Captain. I'm not thirsty for pizza, but I'd eat some.
Well, thirsty for Captain Morgan.
I'm thirsty for
and
Captain Morgan. Hungry for pizza. Oh god. Hey, you want to
Hungry for
order some
apples.
pizza after this?
Possibly.
Okay.
But you know what would have been a better sponsor? Maybe Sonic would have been a better sponsor than
great
Olive Garden.
You would have. Like, I need all these carbs, so give me your endless breadsticks.
Yeah, or maybe even like Wiener Schnitzel because Sonic's food is chili dogs,
Yeah,
right?
and
That's
they
his
do-
main food. Wiener Schnitzel or Sonic would have been a better sponsor, but
Yeah, and why is that sheriff dirty when he comes back in when he learns about him being accepted into the San Francisco PD? If you notice, like he is just filthy. Like his shirt looks like he went through that garbage bin that he was like giving those raccoons trouble about.
which one?
Oh, the sheriff in his sheriff's shirt when he's still like the sheriff of the town.
Are you talking about Tom Wachowski character, the main character,
The main character,
James
yeah.
Marsden's
Yeah,
character?
yeah.
His shirt's all. I don't remember his shirt being.
I looked at that and like it's so. I don't know. I think it was a bit of a continuity error. I was hoping you noticed that.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, so basically, Robotnik shows up, spots. He's about to basically murder.
Wait a second. Before that, there's like that trash panda scene
Yeah,
where
that's
the
what
raccoons are going through the trash.
Yeah, right after that, he's dirty in there. Like they cut out a scene, I think.
Oh,
So I think he had to fight some trash pandas.
that's funny.
Actually, it is.
But you know, it's funny. I actually think that joke may have been written for Chris Pratt
Oh,
because
probably.
he called Rocket Raccoon a trash panda,
Yes,
and it would have been funny for him to say the same line
in another
in
movie.
in the other movie, right?
Oh yeah.
But Chris Pratt didn't end up being in the movie, but he was originally, I think, gonna be the sheriff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's a character that's good for him.
So they like decided to keep. He's like, hey, since Chris Pratt's not in the movie, why don't we just reference like one of the movies, make maybe an X-Men scene or something?
Yeah.
It's like, no,
No, fuck you.
fuck X-Men, fuck you. We all
That's
the lovable Chris Pratt, and his trash pandas lines, and anything that he says is better than anything you'll ever say.
You're fucking
James
doing your
Marsden.
life. Come on, man. Fuck off.
Anyway, I wanted to bring that up.
That's we were going past the part where they meet in the garage, and basically
yeah.
he's talking to his girlfriend on the phone. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna scare him with this tranquilizer gun." It's like, "Hey, that thing's for bears, right?" It's like, "Oh, so I might scare this guy or do more." So basically, he's willing to murder somebody with drugs.
Well, an animal, because we've already set up that he doesn't like
Those trash pandas.
trash pandas.
He's willing to murder something with a. He has a gun. Why doesn't he just? He lives out in the hills. Like you just say, "Oh yeah, there's an animal in there. I shot it," and he's the law.
Well, I guess that shows his character, right?
guess
He's
so.
he's not an evil cop.
Also, it's a kids' movie, so you can't have that many guns going off.
Yeah, it's a kids movie.
So Dr. Robotnik shows up after he starts tracking him down, and another person willing to murder. He just like pulls out this menacing egg drone comes in and just says, "Okay, I'm gonna kill you in 5 seconds if you don't tell me where this fucking thing is."
Yeah, and it's funny how, well, we already set up Dr. Robotnik's.
Yeah.
He's
an egotistical, like sociopath, basically, who is having a ton of fun in this movie.
but his motivation's a little bit different than working for the government. Because
yeah.
if it was just working for the government, the motivation is kind of stupid. Like, I don't
Yeah.
see why he would do all that work for the government that he's so much smarter than.
Yeah,
But he did track the footprint, and he found out it was a creature
Yeah.
with immense power. So then that's like, okay, he wants Dr.
He wants the
Robotnik
power.
wants this power.
Oh yeah. And the second he finds the quill and figures out what its deal is, he's like, "Oh, this is now my thing. I can power all my robots with this."
Mhm.
So I did like that. He had some motivation that wasn't just like Uncle Sam needs protection or something. It was like I'm an evil bad guy.
Yeah, he was kind of like the evil version of Elon Musk.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Or the true version of Elon Musk.
oh,
Wait. Oh. God damn it! I gotta work out that. I gotta be mindful of the volume on my controls there. Okay. But
I'm adjusting my legs right now.
That's good. That's fine. So yeah, they decide to book it out of there, and that's the last commercial I see it like really in there is the Toyota Tacoma commercial where it's like there's this really nice peel out shot where you get a full view of it and then peels out.
Yeah, was that a Toyota Tacoma?
That was a Toyota Tacoma. It said it on the side.
Okay.
Like all the other vehicles are blacked out, so you don't see like the logos.
Mm-hmm. You
Anyway,
got a nice shot of that Toyota Tacoma.
yes, of the Toyota Tacoma available this year, and
And I like they did explain why Sonic the Hedgehog would get into like a 15 mile per hour truck, you know.
right because he doesn't know where anything is, and
Yeah, he
realistically,
doesn't know where anything is, and his legs all jello-y.
yeah, after he got
But
struck.
he does recover.
He does, and then he runs to the coast and back in like 2 seconds.
I know.
Listen, I just
From Montana, I wasn't sure. I was like, are they in Northern California? But then later on in the movie, I'm like, oh, they were in Montana that whole time.
Yeah. So basically, I think
And that fish is able to stay on his head the whole time.
thousands of miles. And look, this is one of the things where the movie has to happen, and so yes, him just find it. Realistically, the movie ends in 20 seconds. But
Yeah.
especially when you see they've like ripped off that Quicksilver scene from Days of Future Past like twice.
But I believe part of the motivation for Sonic the Hedgehog to, go on a road trip with James Marsden's character, Tom Wachowski, was he was lonely,
Yeah,
and he found this as an opportunity to
he wants the experience.
manipulate someone into being his friend.
He might be a sociopath. He's the cutest sociopath you'll ever see. And here's where it turns into like a road trip movie. And they go to like the coolest bar in the universe, basically, where people are having drag races. There are regular bikers and like crotch rocket bikers, and inside it's a country western bar.
It was kind of funny how he parked in this specific spot in the parking lot where one side of the parking lot
It's
on
just
the
like
other side of the truck was just dark and a payphone.
It's like a gas station that had like a cube, like the size of a store that has like the like one of those drive-up coffee shops,
Yeah.
where it's just like just enough room for maybe 2 people to stand in there uncomfortably.
Yeah.
And on the other side is this rockin' bar.
Yeah, and it's like somehow none of the noise goes over the truck onto his side, where like he has to like cover his ear, like cover one ear, the whole deal, and
Seriously.
then talk into the phone.
Because they're like revving engines and people are doing like burnouts and shit.
And he's able to have a conversation without like yelling over any of
it's
that.
like quiet right over there.
Yeah. There's some magical like sound barrier thing
Right.
going on right there.
Sonic's power keeps it, at bay.
Yeah.
And of course he like gives in and goes into the bar.
Yeah, and he doesn't. It's almost like he doesn't. He just has to look. He just looks to his left, and he's like, "Oh, there's a bar over there."
It's like, you think I would have noticed all that noise and color like many minutes ago? Oh my god! And that's where he has like the chili dog reference. He's like a chili dog there, and that's where they start like the easiest bar fight ever. It's a bit of a cliche where it's like if you
the most cliche thing in movies right now.
Someone bumped into me and I'm gonna start swinging.
I know.
Like that guy does not last many weekends where he just says, "Oh, you bumped into me? Well, I guess we have to fight now and have to commit felony assault."
Yeah, and I don't know why that sets off the whole thing. Like, okay, some guy bumps into him, he punches him out. You'd think that'd be done, right?
Like, nope.
But then like someone's like, "Hey, that guy that
I don't know.
No, didn't deserve that."
It's like, listen, I'm the arbiter of who deserves what in this bar. Like, no, sir, I am the arbiter of who deserves what in this bar.
But that was the only thing that was faster than Sonic was how quick that bar fight started.
That went.
People across the room are just fighting for no reason
New
now.
people came in from off the street. They like an app. They have an app that says a bar fight started, and they just peeled out and went to the bar.
Yeah.
Like, and this is where Sonic draws up that bucket list that he wants to do before he leaves Earth. And yeah, we should mention that when he gets shot in the leg, he goes he drops his rings into San Francisco. That's why he has to go there.
Oh yeah. That sets up the whole movie.
That might be like pertinent to know if you want to know what's going on. He throws the ring and says, "Okay, I'm gonna go to Mushroom Plant," but then he reads the guy's shirt that says San Francisco, and then it opens to San Francisco. So they rip off the Quicksilver scene from Days of Future Past in that bar where he's just running around like messing up everyone's shit real slow or really fast.
So I wonder if that Quicksilver scene, if that is now fair game for any movie now.
I mean, it must be because they haven't sued Sonic yet.
Yeah, and there was a couple of other movies that I think have done that too. That scene, I can't think of them right now.
Well, it's like when the Matrix came out and everyone did that jump kick thing.
I was just gonna like bring that up, like the whole bullet time thing.
Yeah,
that was like Matrix, and then everyone kind of ripped that off.
Yeah, it's the sincerest form of flattery.
So of the whole entire X-Men franchise, they get that Quicksilver scene that will forever be remembered.
And it was really good.
Yeah, it was a really good scene, and it was good because one, it was new and kind of goofy and stuff. But what I didn't like about the Sonic version was this.
Yeah.
Was that at first it was like he was in slow motion, right? Everything was in slow motion, and Sonic was in slow motion too. So you felt like you were kind of watching something special, where like they had to slow down time so that you can see Sonic doing all this stuff.
But then it just turned into him moving at normal speed and then even faster.
Yeah, so he was moving at super speed within super speed.
It's like extra levels of speed.
So that kind of bugged me because they kind of use the super speed thing as kind of a way to like make things happen quick. Like, oh, I got to tie my shoes real quick, and instead of showing it, like just shoes are tied.
That's a great way to move the plot along.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I say basically a lot in this. I'm realizing I got to work on that. So after the fight, they peel out and go to a motel, and he does another like fast gag where he's like does everything in the motel room and then goes to bed.
Yeah, except the camera doesn't slow down with this, and he farts.
Yeah, chili dog. Chili. Someone call it chili dog, I think.
And then he's like laying all sexy for some reason.
It was a little weird.
But they don't talk about it. He just does it.
I think you've just seen too much anime. Honestly, you might have that might be what you're dealing with right there.
Me?
Yes.
No, like Sonic the Hedgehog is laying sexily.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is an anime thing.
In the bed, and he's got like, the towel on his head and stuff.
Oh
and
yeah,
he's got the towel up to his like chest.
Yeah,
kind of like a woman would.
Right.
And he's
that was a little weird.
And he's kind of like laying like very feminine, kind of like an Odalisque.
He's
painting.
Lounging. It's kind of a effeminate lounge.
Yeah, and he's like staring into the eyes of James Marsden's character.
Okay, he did have some like lidded eyes. Yeah, I will admit it was a little weird, but I decided not to read into that too much because I knew what was coming was a fight scene after this because they hit the road the next morning and
that's also when he farted too.
That's when he farted,
laying all sexy.
Well, listen, you can't have too much of sexiness in this kid's movie. You have to have then the fart joke.
Okay, one reference
that
I did want to bring up. Before, well, we're probably going to get to it at some point, but earlier in the movie, there was this crazy man who lived in the town.
Oh, yeah, he calls Sonic the Blue Devil.
Yeah, he calls him the Blue Devil, and he was the only one that saw or knew about Sonic.
Yeah.
He's like, I know you exist. And he's like, no, I don't.
Oh, that was the best. Oh, I don't. I mean, honestly, yeah, this movie was surprisingly good.
But this drawing that he did of Sonic,
oh yeah,
was Sanic.
Sanic?
Yeah, the internet's really bad drawing of Sonic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you Google Sanic, you'll see the picture that he drew.
Okay, now I gotta see this.
So that was like a reference from the actual internet, not like from any of the games or anything or any like 90s movies. It was like literally.
Holy shit, it was.
An internet. So that's the image. That's the picture that he held up to everyone when he tried to.
That's really good. I like that.
So he drew Sanic.
Sanic. Okay. Well, you see, that makes up for them making up an owl character. See.
So, because we were talking about Sonic laying sexy, and I think that may have been a reference to the internet's depictions of him.
Oh yeah,
and that's another
sexual there.
And then there's another internet depiction of him earlier on. Before that.
Oh yeah.
The sexy hotel scene.
Yeah, sexy hotel. The next fight is okay. They didn't have a huge budget to make another like super fast scene, but Dr. Robotnik chases him with like some robot controlled truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that keeps turning. He keeps like spitting out smaller and smaller robots, and it reminded me of the Batmobile. When he gets when he gets hit with the RPG and then he gets the back pod.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, if the bat pod got hit, he turned into the bat unicycle. and then that would get hit, and then you'd have like a bat, like little helicopter hat, because that's what it turns into, and it was like this little laser drone.
Well, it was like a Russian stacking doll.
Like a nesting doll, yeah.
Nesting doll.
Of death.
Of death, yeah. And
And
then the final incarnation of that machine that Robotnik sent was like a
little helicopter thing that turns into
laser.
an explosive.
Yeah.
And basically, they do that thing. God damn, I said basically again. So what they do is it gets stuck to their hands for some reason. I guess you don't need to explain it. You just need to know that it's beeping faster and faster. It's gonna blow up. And they get it on a rock.
It's
and
ominously beeping.
Yes. And they get it on a rock, and Sonic gets hit with the shock wave from that. And it looks kind of sad too, because he's like freaking out. Like what's his name? Tom.
Tom Wachowski.
Yeah, he's actually pretty sad. It's actually kind of a sad scene in the movie.
Yeah, it is. It's funny because, like, if you think about how fast, I don't know if Sonic can go into and out of super speed mode.
Yeah, they're never
But
clear on that.
You'd think that the explosion, he'd be quick enough to like notice that. Like, he'd just be standing there, and the explosion would just be just slowly getting bigger and bigger, and
Yeah,
be able to just like kind of shimmy away from it.
Yeah, it's based largely on what the plot needs at that moment. So they want a sad moment, so he doesn't notice that the explosion's coming at him.
Yeah, so I guess when he's just standing there, he doesn't have the ability to have quick reflexes.
I have no idea. Maybe he has
It's
to
only
be
when he's
facing it.
moving fast.
Or he has to be facing it. Let's say that. Because remember, they all shoot at him at the end of the movie, and he notices it and has time to go like, oh, okay. So I'm saying he has to be facing the danger, like when he's in the bar and they're like throwing the punch, and he stops.
But if he's not facing the danger,
that's his weakness, is his back.
yeah, okay.
That's why he does the spin attack, so his eyes are looking in 360 degrees at any one time.
Oh, okay.
Perfect sense. Boom. I nailed Sonic. Okay, no, I didn't nail Sonic. I figured Sonic out.
Yeah, they thought he liked that towel scene.
A little bit. Jesus, man. Let's see here.
But that was the only scene where it looked like I'm pretty sure Sonic was CGI the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
But there was that one scene when he was like laying kind of pretty much dead
They
on
might
the
have
floor.
made some mock-up.
It looked like that almost kind of looked like they made a little like puppet Sonic for that scene.
It looked pretty good, honestly. Some parts of it, I was able to suspend my disbelief because he looked like a cartoon character, and I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, and Pokemon, but the Pokemon ones are actually a little bit more realistic looking than Sonic.
Yeah, they are.
For some reason, Pokemon had better technology.
Seriously, well, also a much bigger budget. Let's be
Okay.
honest. Like, a Nintendo is not going to be like, oh, let's skimp on our flagship, like, trading card game / video game property.
Yeah, because the Pokemon character, they looked really good in that.
Oh yeah, they did. And for convenience sake, Tom's wife is a vet, and then he takes him to San Francisco, and his sister-in-law hates him for like reasons I'm not entirely sure. I mean,
Casually just talking about how he
you should get divorced.
get divorced in front of him.
You know that house you both live in, that life you've built? Fucking end it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting like, Jesus, maybe she should have like a reason to hate him, because he brings now an alien into her life and says, okay, help me fix this alien that caused a blackout and that made the government call me a terrorist. Oh yeah, also he's a terrorist now. He's being called a terrorist.
Yeah, and but he's still able to like walk around town like without covering his face or anything.
Seriously.
There's a scene at the end of the building where he's just kind of like just out and about.
Yeah, just walking around, like, hey, what's up? And it's like, okay, I guess that we've gotten over this really quickly.
Yeah, that's very low consequences.
Let's see. Basically, God damn it. So Sonic is he is knocked up, but he's healing. I guess he has like the Flash's healing powers, and they hit him with the smelling salts, and he gets up, and the little girl gives him like his iconic shoes, which I thought was pretty cool. I could still tell they were Pumas, so I'm not sure. Like, it was kind of fuzzy, but I was like, I was looking to see, are they going to do a product placement here? Because that's the exact thing they would do. Is they'd be like, oh, look at these awesome Pumas.
Yeah, they should have, huh?
They really should have. Honestly, that's the thing that the pitch meeting guy had, right? Why didn't they have the fast food place Sonic be the endorsement?
I know that would have been cool, but
Like, so much better.
I think maybe like
Even Sonic
it
has standards.
works backward. They're like, okay, let's make a movie built around Olive Garden.
This is the movie that Olive Garden built.
We need to put Olive Garden in this.
It's like, how do we? It's like, sir. I mean, there's a much more thematically appropriate restaurant, and I think you're overlooking it, sir. It's It's like, listen, how about I bring you a list of them? And it's like, no, bring Olive Garden, only Olive Garden. Sir, like, Lily's like, sir, listen, if you say anything other than Olive Garden, you're fired. Okay, I guess we're getting Olive Garden to do this.
Yeah.
What are you looking up?
Trying to look up the cast of Sonic.
Yeah, so they meet. He calls Dr. Robotnik Eggman. I like that reference because all his things look like eggs, so why not? Oh, you remember when he pushed the pretzel lady and Tom off the roof and threw the coin or the ring to send them back to Green Hills, and it was like the middle of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they Jim Carrey or Dr. Robotnik chases Sonic around town after he got his ring of coins. He's like going from place to place through coins, trying to like lose Dr. Robotnik, and he ends up back in Green Hills like maybe 5 minutes later, and it's like pitch black. Like night dropped in like 5 minutes there.
Yeah, well, I guess they were
Traveling through time as well.
Well, Einstein's theory of relativity, speed of light as you approach speed of light, time changes.
Time dilation. Or poor continuity, one of the two.
I like that they did a scene. I think one of my favorite scenes, actually, in this film was when Sonic was, I think he was running down the building, right?
Yeah.
To try to catch them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he's throwing. That's when he
Throw
throws the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see Robotnik's finger slowly going toward the button.
Oh yeah,
right?
and he looks gleeful, like he's having a great time.
And then that button is what's able to make him go into Sonic speed.
Oh, he's tapping into that hair, so that's how he's able to chase him around. Okay.
Yeah, so then he was able to like get out of the slow kind of speed that
and kick it into like
his missiles and bullets go
right,
super slow, and he was able to go faster than that.
And shoot that like laser gun thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
So yeah, he's trying to tap in. He was trying to tap into that quill,
and he did.
Yeah, and he did.
And so they end up back at Green Hill Zone. Sonic looks like he's dead. He like got it blowed up, and everyone's like, "Oh, power of friendship!" And then Sonic gets up and goes like Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And does basically the thing where he hits the Robotnik's like craft like several times until he knocks it back into that mushroom planet.
Yeah, I was hoping that he was gonna hit it like 8 times.
Yeah, that would have been, yes. I started counting.
Yeah.
But then he started hitting it way too fast. I think they missed an opportunity there.
I know, like if he had just hit it 8 times, that would have been kind of cool. Or 12 is when it's like the main final boss,
Yeah.
So yeah, they missed kind of an opportunity there for him to like 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been a good reference.
That would have been yes.
And I don't know why the mushroom, what significance that has in the Sonic world.
I have no clue.
Other than in the game Sonic and Knuckles, there's a level called Mushroom Hill Zone.
There you go. That's the only thing. I thought they were trying to like rub some of that Mario onto them. Much better property.
Much better. Well, not in my opinion, but yes, Mario is the much more successful property.
Okay, we'll say the much more successful.
Yeah.
I don't want strife here. We're friends.
Not the cool. Objectively better. It's not objectively better, but it is objectively more successful than Sonic the Hedgehog.
There we go. So what ends up is Dr. Robotnik he has the standard like Robotnik mustache, and he's telling a joke about rock connaissance based on that. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about his special agent assistant who he just beats the shit out of.
Oh yeah, those some good scenes.
He like hits him. It's like apparently he's a martial artist because he can handle himself okay in a fight, except when he gets sucker punched.
Yeah.
And
his first sucker punch actually knocked him out for about 15 minutes.
Oh
of the
yeah,
movie?
he might have concussion. Like that's not healthy at all. he's asleep for a large portion of the movie.
Yeah, that whole entire house scene.
Yeah,
he's knocked out. He's just laying there unconscious,
drooling onto the floor. Oh, that was great. And the government shows up later, and while they're fixing up the house, and gives them that gift card and says, "Can we talk to him? Super cash. Nothing. Maybe some brunch." He's like, "No, we don't know where he is." And
that is the nicest government depiction in any movie.
That's so nice, right?
Where it's like there's this extremely powerful being, and if you had this power, you can literally probably make United States a super not
Like
just
an uber power,
an uber power,
Yes.
right?
ultra power. I don't know.
Maybe you can tap into his energy, and who knows, like how many, like how much it can power like cities and stuff, and
Like
like
countries, probably.
countries. It's be like a nice renewable energy, and
And
just
they're like,
all this kind of like crazy stuff that you can get from just a couple quills, and they're like, oh, you know
hey,
what?
maybe you could stop by. No, those two would be in prison. They'd be using them for bait. Like there's a version of this movie where it gets dark,
Yeah.
where like Sonic is like chained up and like they have like electrodes going to his like quills and they're using them to power their super weapons. Like those two people are enemies of the state. It's like that would have been that's the adult version of this movie.
Yeah.
The kid version of this movie is like, I guess we can't find him. We're gonna go now. Bye.
Well, we, the United States government, will just patiently wait until you're ready for us to talk to him.
Yeah, and they basically adopt him at the end. This time, basically, I do mean to say it is because they don't like have any paperwork. They just move all his shit from the cave without him knowing, and say, okay, you're living in our attic now. It's going to be incredibly hot in the summer times, incredibly cold in the winter times, but you live here now.
Yeah. The two main characters, James Marsden's character, and the other chick, I don't know what her name
What's
is.
her face?
She's really hot.
Yes, she is.
Extremely hot chick. They somehow found out where he lived. I don't know if that was ever explained.
Nope.
And they were actually nice enough to grab all his stuff, maybe put it in some sort of a U-Haul truck, drive it across through the forest,
Through the forest.
out to their house, haul it all up to the attic.
No one noticed this. The government that would be watching them and surveilling their house didn't notice.
And Sonic didn't notice.
Nope.
And he's like, I guess I gotta go now. And they're like, go back to your cave. And he's like, all right.
And it's like, whoa,
Like, where you going? Your cave's up there.
like, well, that by definition isn't a goddamn cave. That's called an attic.
I know.
God, if I was Sonic, I'd be such a douche. So listen, I enjoyed it. I think it's not super good for adults, but kids are gonna love this shit.
Yeah, and another thing, to bring it back to Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
His sidekick was funny. It was good. It was
yeah.
good. They had good chemistry there.
It really did. He's like this abusive, overbearing jerk.
But there's a scene where Robotnik is like dancing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like classic Jim Carrey. Like Jim Carrey has come back.
Oh yeah,
He's doing all the physical comedy.
and he does that so well.
Yeah, like that was a really good scene.
Oh yeah, all his physical comedy in that is phenomenal.
The
Like,
guy's body is amazing.
Oh seriously,
Still.
he is he kept it together.
It's like the year 2020, and it's like 2 decades haven't gone by.
Seriously, yeah, he's staying really. Like when I saw him like staying like really thin. Usually when guys get that age, they either they usually settle into a dad bod. And so I was saying like he's either really healthy or really not.
It's one of the two.
It's one of the two. Like dudes are like, listen, I'm already married, or I've accepted the middle, so I'm just gonna like have a milkshake every now and then and be a little fat.
That's definitely, you've described Marilyn Manson for
Yes.
sure. That's how
He's settling
Marilyn
in.
Manson is very dad looking now.
He's settling into his dad bod, and
Everybody look up Marilyn Manson right now.
I saw
It
him
looks
in
crazy.
Oz at the same, or not Oz.
Oh yeah, we saw
Rob
him.
Zombie. Yeah, we were at the same show.
Yeah, we're at the same show, and yeah, Marilyn Manson he looks like a giant kind of whale penis right now.
He does. But him and that flaming Bible was awesome, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, there's one more thing. Did
One
you see
more
did you see the very end?
I did.
After the Eggman part, he's like, that's kind of the first.
I didn't
kinda
see
ending.
that.
There's another one where Tails comes out.
Tails comes out?
A ring opens.
Okay,
and
wait. Maybe it's here on the YouTubes.
One eternity later.
Continues to
It's not.
the end.
Oh, it might be nope, it's not that. What the hell's going on with this motherfucker? Oh, I figured it out. I did a wrong thing again. Here we are. It's playing now. Let's see. It's a lot. I saw that part of it. Those animations were pretty good. Okay, here we go. That's not someone talking behind you. That's the theater. There is no official version of this. So here we go. Dr. Robotnik's. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Someone has their cell phone out.
So portal opens.
Oh, and he looks badass.
If these readings are accurate, he's here. I found him. I just hope I'm not too late.
Oh, and do his tails spin? Oh, they spin, even though that would defy all logic. Wow, he flies fast. So wait, it's been 10 years since he left Mobius. Like, how the hell does he know? Like, they're about the same age, right?
Yeah, and I felt that was cool to see his tails, come
It
out.
was.
But those lines were terrible.
They were.
That writing was terrible. It's like, if these readings are accurate, he should be here. I just hope I'm not too late.
Yeah,
That's like the worst.
Most generic.
The most generic reason to come up for Sonic and stuff, and the most...
It's time. I'm in. We've got company. This time, it's personal.
Yeah, it was the worst.
All right, listen, I think we've mined this for all we can, given our skill level. So what I'm going to do... Nope.
Anyway, will I see Sonic 2? Yes, I'll probably see Sonic 2.
So listen, would you recommend this movie?
Yes.
I would if you have kids or if you really like Sonic.
Yeah, if you have kids or if you like Sonic. If you don't like Sonic and if you don't have kids,
Or if you're
if you're not a nerd.
Yeah, if you're lukewarm on Sonic, rent it. So that being said, we're your hosts.
I'm Victor.
And I'm Spike, and we'll see you next time.